I have in my pocket an okra pod, and that is where the seeds come from. So I'm getting this stuff together for today's work. We're going to harvest potatoes. We'll need some crates to put them in, beets as well. And I'll let that little bouquet be a surprise. Over here to the tool shed. Got some good leather gloves here in different varieties and ages for my help and myself. I've collected over the years most everything I need, so try to keep it stored with some order and take care of things. When it comes to digging potatoes, you'll see there's sort of a toss-up between a fork and a shovel as far as what you don't want to be stabbing them or chopping them. So I'm going to also bring a couple of shovels if we decide we want to go that way with it. Yeah, they're a little rusty. That's not the best. I've read you can like stick them in a bucket of sand with old motor oil or something, and that's good for them. But then you'd have to clean that off before you could work in the soil with them. So I don't know on that one. Oh, we're running out of room here. Those milk crates stack so nicely. I was able to get a bunch of them free a few years ago when my daughter managed a school cafeteria. They just gave them away after they had to pay the milk delivery people for them. So I have a sizable collection, many different uses for them. All right, where's my paper? My list. Live by the list. Not totally anymore, but okay. Measuring stick. This measuring stick makes it pretty easy to get the seeds the right distance apart when we plant the okra after we take the potatoes out of that bed. So, and I'm going to get some fertilizer and some vermiculite to keep moisture around the seeds and the okra pods that I have over there in the freezer. And then I think we'll be ready to go in the garden. I have to keep everything in containers or closed up tight because the mice get in here and they like all of these soil amendments. Plus the humidity isn't good for them. So this is a fertilizer organic fertilizer that has a lot of goodies in it. So I'll just add some of that to the soil to I have a list here where I like weighed how much a coffee can of fertilizer would be, and that's about 1.5 pounds. I'm thinking for the whole bed I want 2. So where's another coffee can? Oh, here's a bucket. You'll take out there. Is that tall enough, or you want 2? I have like 3 or 4 of those. Oh, there's that tape. Okay. Oh, we'll just put these in one of the crates to go to the garden when we get to turning the soil a little bit where the potatoes have been. Then we'll add this for the okra to draw upon. Ah, there's some vermiculite. That's what we'll put in with the seeds. Good morning. Welcome back to Harvest 2025 episode. Today we're going to be harvesting root crops that were started early in the year so that they get done before the heat, which is here now. About February 27th, I planted potatoes and beets, which we're fixing to show you what they've become. And it's time to get them out of the ground. Welcome to BB's Garden. And so here you can see the potato row. It's gotten kind of weedy with the rain, but let me show you. The potato plants themselves are dead. We have pictures on the blog on Substack. You can see when they were lush and filled this bed with potato plants. So now there are potatoes. Here's one peeking up down in the ground. And we're gonna dig this whole bed and harvest them. But first, these mustard greens, as I've shown before, went to seed as soon as it got hot. And then they got some kind of bugs on them that just consumed them. Even ate some of the seed heads. And so I brought these that I had harvested earlier to show you how I got a lot of mustard seeds, mustard greens. And see that they're just these little tiny seeds, kind of like in the Bible, mustard seed. And each one of them will grow a plant like this. So we're going to pull all these out and put them in this wheelbarrow and take them to the burn pile because I don't want the critters or their eggs to be in the compost and come back to the garden. So they have to go to burn. So that'll be the first thing we're going to do. And these are for you. Anybody comes and works here gets a new pair of gloves.
Ooh,
these are for you if you are so moved. So we're getting suited up here to do it. I brought shovels and
forks.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if I want to. I'm going to see how easy it works shoveling from the side to just work the soil, because you know every time you stab in there with the fork, you
Could
might,
get a potato
yeah,
in it.
you're likely to. First, we need to get this hose off of here. Oh, and that soaker hose is in there too. That's gonna have to come out.
Do you want the wheelbarrow down there?
No, we're gonna use it right there when we do those.
All right.
When we get those mustard plants out. Yeah, if you could go through and kind of uncover this hose. I don't like pulling on them too much. You know, they're so...
Okay, I'm trying to get my gloves apart here.
Oh, I forgot it still had that.
That's okay. Got it.
And this is rolling up a hose. Yeah, hoses. They're a good workout. Here you can see one of my timers that I've been using to water in here and everywhere out here. So that'll be... Wait a minute. Yeah, we got to take that out. I'm wondering if the soaker hose actually had to come off, but I'll just have to put it back. That's a chore too, getting that thing in place. Please don't pull on them any more than you have to.
I just it didn't come, so
Yeah, the straw we'll put back on the sides afterwards when we get the okra in the middle planted. Oh, look, there's a potato.
red one.
I think we're fixing to see a bunch of them. It's a little tiny one. Now, once they've been exposed to the sun like this, I don't know that you should eat them. I think there's some kind of chemical
They turn green.
change that happens. And so I'm going to be tossing the ones that are above the ground, like there's some over there already collected. That's why some people mound around their tomato bushes as they come up, because I want to make sure that no tubers develop. Thank you. Above the ground. So we won't worry too much about these weeds because we're fixing to turn, you know, kind of work up the whole thing. And we'll just pull them out then. Now down here, where that little picket is, it says potatoes. From here to the end of this was potato starts I went and bought. The rest of the bed was potato sprouting seed potatoes from last year that I planted. And there are some pictures of them in earlier things we've posted. Look at that. Now see, that was all covered with straw, so it's not. Look at that. We got some spuds here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Um, so anyway, more methodically, let me get this off of here and see if the shovel or the fork is going to work to my liking. Um,
Beautiful.
okay. So, I want to be thorough. I'm going to start down here. I might have to stand up on top of here. There we go.
Nice dirt.
Yeah, that'll work going down the sides. So then, basically, you just have to reach in there. Now, what I'm finding is the soil is pretty wet because we had all this rain recently, but I'm not seeing any rotten potatoes, which would probably eventually happen. But so far, so good. And looks like we're gonna have quite a few potatoes. Now I'm gonna move over to the beet row and start taking out beets. Got to get a crate. Oh, thank you. And the reason they need to come out now, some of them are probably kind of small, is they'll get woody. The heat will cause them to get unpleasantly tough, and they won't have that nice beet texture when they're cooked. I'm just gonna drop them in there about every 3 inches. And if you get them closer, you can pull some babies. The greens, the young greens, are really good in salad. That's another reason I grow them, because I like beet greens in salad mix. So you can see the beets are growing in the center. The green bean plants, there's one right there that's pretty much done. There's a few down there that let's go look, that I'm going to leave. See the whole beet row. Some are bigger, some are smaller. And I'm not sure what this is. Some kind of kale, I think, maybe. That just came up. Seed was in there somewhere. You'll notice these deeply lobed vine leaves. Those are watermelons that are coming up from seed in this bed from last year when some of the watermelons rotted on the bottom. So I'm going to let the watermelons have this bed. I'm going to leave the aging bean plants here to go to seed, whatever pods they still produce. Come over here and look at this. There's even a few blooms on it. Will be allowed to mature to big beans and pods that hopefully I'll get seed from, because all the seed suppliers' prices are up, up, up. And these contender beans are an heirloom, so they should produce true to kind, the seeds that I harvest. So we want to get in here and start taking out beets without tearing up the watermelon vines. And they pull really easy. And you can see the leaves are declining. they know their season, their spring season has ended. Um, you can juice these or roast them in the oven, boil, like steam or boil them and then pickle them. So beets, very, very nutritious. So that'll be, excuse me, I'll just be pulling those out in the middle, and then all the weeds down there, which is easy now after the rain. And then I'm going to cover up all the spaces with straw, and the watermelon vines will grow over and cover the bed. And we'll see how that goes. So now if you'll look down this bed, you can see it's been totally turned, and we got what potatoes were in it. Wasn't as many as I expected. I don't know if we had gophers getting them from the bottom, or if my seed potatoes on this end were those I had saved and they were kind of old, so maybe some of them made a plant but didn't make potatoes, or many. The ones at the other end were bigger and more numerous from the bought seed potatoes. So I guess I don't have that technique down yet, that method. So the next thing that's going to happen here is I'm going to put some fertilizer in here, and then just stir it and level it. And then we'll be making a row of okra plants. We'll be planting those. I have in my pocket an okra pod, and that is where the seeds come from. After it's fully dried like this, you can just split open each of these little longitudinal sections, and out pop okra seed. See? Isn't that cool? A package, and there's like 6 or 8 times that much in this one okra pod. Each one will grow an okra bush, essentially, that will produce, I have never counted exactly, but dozens of these pods. So, good food. I have some here in a bag that I'm going to use to plant in this bed. So, back in the pocket you go. We've already marked out the places where they're going to go, about 18 inches apart. And in each spot, I'm going to put 3 seeds. Just, don't know the exact germination rate of my saved seeds here, but they look pretty healthy. And, you can kind of sometimes tell they're deformed or smaller. Okay, so 3 seeds in there, and just gently cover up to about 1/2 inch. Rule of thumb is about half the diameter of the seed. And then we're going to tuck them in, pat them down. That way the water will also tend to pool on top of that little spot where they are. And just going to do that on down the row, about 3 seeds in each one. And if they all come up, I'll just have to thin them and, pull a couple. But with 3, I got a pretty good shot at having one in each spot to fill up the row. Okay, we just harvested the beets. You can see in the 2 crates we have quite a few of them, and we'll be storing them now for juicing and cooking and whatever. A lot of good nutrients in beets. So this bed will be left to the watermelon vines here. The beans, I can show you, are starting to make some seeds. Yeah, there's the first watermelon starting to get there. But you can see we got some nice big bean pods here, which will go ahead and dry. And then I'll harvest seeds from those on all the remaining plants. And I'll cover the bed after thorough weeding with straw so the vines can grow over it. And that'll be that for this bed for now. The okra seeds we just planted should be up within a week, and then they'll flower and make tender pods within 4 to 5 weeks. We'll keep on harvesting tomatoes, squash, cucumbers, onions, and peppers. And if you come back for the July 4th episode, you'll probably see some nice little watermelons too.